We'll proceed in summation and integral calculus. Okay, summation and integral calculus. This discussion we are pursuing. Can we divide our problem into n different parts and solve the problem part by part and then accumulate it? Okay, then sum it, accumulate it, or bring it together. That falls in summation to integral calculus. This falls in summation. In discrete manner, we find the solution, and then in discrete manner, if we find the solution, then we sum it, and summation becomes important. Summation becomes a tedious, importantly tedious when number of sections we divide the problem into, it becomes infinite. Sometimes we need infinite. Okay, why we need infinite? If we are solving the problem, if we are dividing the problem into n parts and solve the problem part by part, solve the problem part by part, then what is necessary that we make the number of parts as infinity. We have given this clarification many times. Why we need number of parts, why we need number of parts going to infinity. Okay, like if I have quickly I'll just demonstrate. Okay, so like we have a kind of a circle, and we are trying to find the circumference of a circle. If I'm trying to find circumference of a circle, then this is circumference of a circle. Now I'm dividing circumference of a circle into n different parts. This is part number one. Oh, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. From x-axis, I'm dividing into n different parts. I'm dividing the circumference into n different parts. There are two ways I can divide it into different parts. One, first of all, this is whenever we solve any problem, we try to understand that our problem falls in curve length, our problem falls in surface area, our problem falls in volume, or our problem falls in weight section. What is length? Means our problem is unidirectional. I'm sorry, unidimensional. Our problem is dual dimension. Our problem is triple dimension. Our problem is four dimension. People can take our previous video where so explicitly we have talked about how to find curve length, how to find surface area, how to find surface area of a sphere, and then how to find the volume of a sphere, then how to find weight of a sphere, and so things. It is not merely a weight, it is not merely a area, it is not merely the volume, it is not merely the curve length. It talks about the dimension. Any problem, either it is electrical problem, capacitor, inductor, whatsoever, we try to find how many variables are there. If there are two variables, then we are landing up into area mode. In area mode, if we land up, then there are many scenarios. There can be many coordinate system will come into the picture. All works everywhere. No. It is electronic problem, and this is electrical problem, and this is mechanical problem, and this is that problem. This is that problem. This is the hanging bridge problem, and it all come under these three, four sections only. This person need to understand that it falls in single dimensional, dual dimension, triple dimension, or four dimension. Okay, quad okay, I don't know what is four. So it falls in four dimensions, quad dimension, falls in four dimensions. How to calculate the single dimension length, how to calculate area in 2D, how to calculate 3D volume, 4D weight, and then how to use different kind of coordinate system if we feel easy in that coordinate system. These, if someone understand extremely well, if someone is understanding extremely well, then he can crack anything, artificial intelligence to anything. Next stage comes in that how we can bring vector out there, because vector talk about direction. Okay. Now anyway, now we are in concept of solving any problem by dividing the problem into n different parts. If I am saying that I want the circumference of a circle, then it is single dimension. Now, if I want to divide into n part, then I can divide the circumference into n part. That is one way. Another way is I divide the x-axis into n part. Makes sense? Okay, someone would say if you're dividing circumference into n part, that is same as dividing x-axis into n part. Certainly not. Why not? If I divide circumference into n equal part, if I make it fall on x-axis all the part, the length on x-axis will not be same. They are mutually exclusive. That is true. If I take one section, another section, another section, another section, another section, another section, and it falls all fall on x-axis, all subsection here will not overlap with each other, but their width will not be same. If I divide x-axis into n equal part, then they will go and map on the circumference. That will again be non-overlapping. But here the subsection length will not be same. Okay, what is difference? If I do the subsection on around along the circumference, then I can take polar coordinate system. If I take the make the equal division in x-axis only, no, you have to take x-axis and y-axis both, because see, this is y-axis and this is x-axis. If I see circumference, then y-axis and x-axis. If I take one part here, it involves y-axis and x-axis. If I am making a division along the circumference, it is 100% true that it is making interception on x-axis also, it is making interception on y-axis also. That is side effect, but the root is I'm making the subsection only along the parameter. If I have to do subsectioning the circle into Cartesian coordinate system, then it is absolutely not required to make the cross section into x and y both, and that will be error proof, because independent variables must be only one, not two. Okay, then independent variable must be only one. Why it is only one? Because we are trying to find the length of a curve, and length of a curve will fall in single dimension. Anyway, then I can chop my x-axis in n number of parts, and then we try to do the computation. That we will see sometime. Okay, so the concept of dividing into n different parts, why n tends to infinity, we have talked many times earlier. If I divide into n different parts, how I calculate the length of one section? Because I don't know the length of, if I know the how to calculate length of a curved section, then why I need to divide into n part? Curved section directly I can calculate the length. Why I divide? Problem is I don't know how to calculate the length of a curved section. Okay, I know length of a straight line, that I know. If this point is x2, y2 and this point is x1, y1, length will be x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square root. If this is the length of a straight line, if I know this much information I have. Now someone gives me, can you calculate the length of the circumference? If I divide into n different parts, then this is the one section length. But I'll calculate if these are the 2 points, I'll calculate the length of a straight line from this point to this point. Then a straight line, then a straight. I know how to calculate a straight line only. Now I have n number of a straight line, then I have to add it, and it will give the circumference of the circle, but it will not be accurate. To have the accurate, so first step is divide it into n parts. In which coordinate system you are trying? I'm trying in polar coordinate system. Then you have to divide this angle theta. This arc is representation of angle theta. There are two dimension is there. One is angle theta, that is represented by arc in Cartesian coordinate system, and another is radius. These two are perpendicular to each other. This is angle theta is varying, represented by the arc, or I can represent. So we are subdividing only in one of the dimension in polar coordinate system, and that is theta. Or we are not touching it. Similarly, if I try it in Cartesian coordinate system, x-axis and y-axis, then I'll cut the x-axis into n number part, not touching the y-axis, and then we will try. Anyway, the concept is that first we try to get the length of one section. then sum it for n section, and then third stage is n tends to infinity, because we have taken a straight line only, to calculate the length. If n becomes infinity, then distance, the gap between these 2 points is 10 to 0. Then I can take a straight line, no problem. So first divide into n part, find the find the find the solution in one part. If someone is finding a solution in one part, then add it for all n parts. Then make n tends to infinity. While changing n tends to infinity, the summation will change to integral calculus. That's why it is summation to integral. This is what the topic we have taken, summation to integral. First try to find the divide into n part, and then try to find the one part, and then sum it for all n parts and make n tend to infinity. N tend to infinity is not a fashion. It should not be considered as a fashion that n tends to infinity, n tends to infinity. N tends to infinity is required when our solution is not accurate if I sum it for n times. This is what the exact reason for it, that is n tends to infinity. Okay. Now, in that fashion, n tends to infinity when we are talking like this, then it will come to integral calculus. Integral calculus is nothing but a way to calculate area. Integral calculus is a way to calculate the area. Okay. Summation, that is sigma. Summation means sigma sign. Sigma sign, and we have any one section, sigma sign I equal to 1 to n, and any ith section measurement we have, we sum it for n times. This is typically it is called the notation for the repeated summation. Okay, I can say summation I equal to 1 to n, and then the ith section. We can say it is function over x. X belongs to ith section. Means whatever we have got, the measurement for the ith section, I can describe as a function in terms of x, and then x belongs to ith section. Okay, we have seen a lot in this area. Please watch our previous video. And if I want integral calculus, then this will be summation I equal to 1 to n function over x. X belongs to ith section. It has to be transformed into integration. X is begin to n function over gx, not function over fx, not fx, gx, another function, dx. Because this is the two typical notation are. In summation, it is sigma, and in integration it is limit sign. These are the difference. In summation talks about adding all the different parts, whereas the integration talks about if I have a function, then calculating area of the function. What is area of the function? Is is if I have a function like this, if this is x-axis, and there is a function over it that is called gx. This is the y-axis, and this is x-axis. Y-axis is nothing but gx, function over any function g over x. This is y-axis. There is a graph I am drawing called gx at any point x. If I draw a vertical, it will hit it, and height will be gx. If I say gx dx, then it will give the area underneath from x equal to begin to end. This subsection area it will give. X equal to 0 to infinite, full area it will give up till infinite. Okay, what is sine x dx? X is 0 to infinite, 0, because sine x will have, if it has positive end, then I believe people understand. So this is x-axis, and this is the sine wave. Sine wave, whatever positive it has, same it has negative also. Means net will be 0. Okay, now someone has to, what is the digital way? Digital way is summation. Summation I equal to 1 to n function fx in the ith section. Means if this is the x-axis, if this, this is the x-axis, then we have divided up till some point alpha, 0 to alpha, into n different parts. In each part, we have a measurement. In each part, we have a measurement. The way we are saying, each part we have a arc length. So I have divided this theta. Now we have theta. theta 0 to 2 pi, angle 0 to 2 pi. I divided into n part. 0 to 2 pi theta, this is theta axis divided into n part. Each part I have a measurement, that is the circumference length of each part. I have measurement in a vertical, that I am denoting it as a vertical. If I add all the vertical, I get the circumference. Okay, someone can say that when you are drawing the vertical, why don't you connect all the pick point? Everywhere you have a length, right? Everywhere you have a length. Yeah, my length is same in all the sections because I divided into. Someone would say in that fact, whatever it is. In every subsection, you have a height, right? When you draw it, pick the top point of the height and draw a line. That will come as a function fx. So earlier we were writing the circumference of a circle. If I divide into n section, each section length is pi, perimeter I. P and bottom right subscript as I. Summation I equal to 1 to n pi. Pi. Someone would say, why don't you connect all the top point here? It will become a function over theta. It will become a function over theta. Okay, if it becomes function over theta, I can rewrite as summation I equal to 1 to n, and then perimeter I will become summation I equal to 1 to n function over theta. Theta belongs to ith section. This is what I was saying. Okay, if n tends to infinity, then it will become equal to limit theta from one location to another location. Right now we have I equal to 1 to m. It will become theta 0 to 2 pi g theta d theta, not f theta d theta. Oh, why it will not f theta d theta? I know now. If I draw a digital graph means for each section I have one unit. Each section I have one bar. Each section I have one bar. Top of the bar, if I connect with a point, it gives a line. Consider that is fx or f theta. Then can I write summation I equal to 1 to n f theta? Theta belongs to the is section equal to integration theta from 0 to 2 pi f theta d theta. Certainly not. F theta d theta will give the area. Yeah, area. This is the f theta and d theta will give the area. This area will be different when you add all the bars. Okay, that's why if this all you connect, it is f theta. F theta is not integration d theta d theta, because addition of vertical bar has to be same as if I denote it by any continuous curve, the area underneath, and both will not be same typically. Okay, in that fashion it will be different. You have to find another. So finding another continuous function from the f theta to g theta and then integrate 0 to 2 pi, that is as good as n tends to infinity. If I say summation I equal to 1 to infinity or n tends to infinity, and then f theta belongs to is and it is impossible to find by any human being, n tends to infinity, then we go toward the calculus, because calculus talks about infinity. If I'm trying to calculate area of a graph, then this I can chop into infinite part, and each part I can calculate the sub area. Then if I add, it becomes the full area. Okay, at any moment theta, what is the height? This is g of theta. And at any moment theta, if I have a width at delta theta, then we have the subsection area is g theta into delta theta. Delta theta tends to 0. Now, if this is the ith section, then I have to sum for all it. Then it becomes g theta delta theta I, g theta theta at I. Summation I equal to 1 to n tends to infinity. That will be exactly as integration 0 to 2 pi f theta d theta. Okay, these are the many. If someone understands this to its heart, someone understands to its heart, he can crack anything possible. Okay, we will try to crack something. We were in an example that there is a country where n number of people are there, and in n number of people, some people are diseased people. For God grace, God's sake, no one should be diseased, because disease is just something that is the most darkest part of the someone's life. That is the disease. Okay, if I talk about little bit in philosophy, then what is the brightest part in someone's life and what is the darkest part in someone's life? If I talk in philosophy, okay, generally people think everything then in a manner that how he should be behaved when he is in a mass, he is in a crowd, he is in a group, like someone is cracking some examination, or there is a report came in the newspaper that his wealth is from this level to that level. Okay, now he is in a group. Now everyone is admiring him, adoring him. Everyone. Okay. Now he is elated and he is feeling that this is what is the culmination in his life. This is what is called pleasure. Because wherever he is going, everyone is admiring him. Wow, I saw your report in newspaper. You are the wealthiest person in this country. Means now wherever he goes, everyone is praising him. And now he is understanding this is something that is the biggest in his career. And he is the most happiest person in his life. Happiness is never adjudged, is never adjudged in a group. When you are in a group and how you are happy, that is not considered as the happiest moment. I'm not saying that is the saddest moment. Happy moment is always considered when you are alone. If a person is alone, okay, he is in a room or somewhere alone, okay, completely disconnected from the world, and at that moment, if he feels he is happy, then he is happy. Okay, and there it comes another arena called disease. Okay, if a person is not a diseased person, a person is not a diseased person, it does not make any it not does not make any difference. Either he is standing alone or he is standing in a group. At both places he is happy. If he is standing alone, one day, 2 day he is alone and he is not a diseased person, he is happy. When he is standing with in a group, then he is happy. Consider that he is a normal person, normal earning person. Okay, when he is in standing alone, then he is happy because he is hale and healthy. When he is standing in a group, then people are not giving any focus on him. They are running behind rich people. Still, he is happy. If people are running behind him, then he is happy anyway. In any way, he is happy. But people are not running behind him. Still, he is happy. But person is a diseased person. When he is in among the people, then he is happy. Because so many people are admiring him. But when he is going alone and living for one day, 2 day alone, whatever disease he has, that is attacking on him. If he has a stomach ache problem, then a stomach ache is happening and he is in trouble. If he has a chest pain problem, then chest pain is happening. That is not considered as the happy moment. Person is not happy. Person is happy or sad. That is adjudged when he is alone. When someone is alone, that is considered that you are adjudged by the nature. Nature is with you, and nature is actually giving you a stamp that you are happy or not. When someone is alone, actually he is not alone. He is with nature, another group. There are two groups in the world or in the universe. One group is the human group, where person is living with the human. That is another group. And one group is the nature group, when person is exactly not living with the human. And that is the name. When full nature is with you. And there, if you are happy there, if you are happy in the kind of when you have comrade of nature, when you have friendship with the nature as a friend, they are around you. There, if you are happy, then you are happy. And certainly, wealth will not be a decision making out there. What is the decision making out there will be your health. And that is considered as a wealth for the nature. If you are healthy, then full nature admire you because they consider health is wealth. But if you are with the people, then they will admire you. Whatever healthy you are, no one will go behind it. They will go behind your bank balance and what is the status in your company and those kind of things. Okay, but you understand what is the wealth. where you feel you want to be happy. You want to be happy when you are with the nature, or you want to be happy when you are with the people. Okay, this is up to you. Anyway, this is called, I made a deliberate digression. I said I would digress. Anyway, now we are considering that there is a country where n number of people are there, and 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 among the n, the there is a p percentage of people. There are p percentage of people are diseased people. They have disease. That is p in percentage. Okay, means if 100 people are there, then 100 people are there, then if it is p percent, means p number of people have disease. If n number of people are there, means someone can say fraction. Okay, fraction, that is a better word. Fraction means p among the n number of people, p is the p is the fraction of people they have disease. That is a fraction. If it is 100 and fraction is p, then exactly p number of people they have the disease. So p is the fraction or number of people they have the disease. So if it is 100 and p is the, I'm sorry, fraction, p is fraction. Fraction means 0.25. P is 0.25. If number is 125 people, they have the disease. If n number of people are there, then n into p, that many people have disease. So p is the fraction. That is the number of people have disease. Now this is the status of a country. Now if I ask, if I choose, what is the what now what is the on an average, now I go to another country, they have n number of people and p is the fraction of people they are having a disease, where p is changeable. Makes sense? Here p is different, p is different, something like that. Now if I ask, what is the average number of people they have the disease, what is the average number of people they have the disease, if I go country by country, okay, how many people they have disease? Okay, it will not be same, because p, consider p is a variable number. In term of n and p, can you tell me what is the average number of people I find a diseased people? Okay, I believe this will be a tough example. Let's take it in simple manner. Let's take in simple manner. Consider I have two coins. Consider I have two coins. Okay, two coins. If now I toss it, the two coin I toss it. Okay, if I toss two coins, then I see head and tail. It can be, both can be tail, both can be head. One can be head, one can be tail, or first will be head, another will be tail. There are four combination I am seeing. Four combination I am seeing. Okay, but I can say that I would count on number of head. Okay, I have given this example, but not probably not would not have solved it. Okay, I'll count on number of head. Okay, I would count on number of head. Okay, what you do on number of head? If if whatever number of head is coming, if I throw the two coins, whatever number of head we are getting, if I would move that many steps. I'm standing at a place and I would move that many steps. Make sense? If it comes tail, then I won't move. If it comes tail, then I won't move. If it comes head, then I would move that many steps. Okay. Now, if I throw a coin, two coins, then I move some steps. Okay. Then I come back. Then I throw two coin again. Then I move some step. I based upon the head. Can someone tell me what is the average distance I have with one throw? Average distance means with one throw I move with number of head. Another throw I move with number of head. Another throw I move with number of head. Another throw I move with number of head. Now I'm okay. Now what is the average? If I say that I keep on moving with all the coin, then the number I place the toss, I have to divide by that. Or I go, I make a toss and see number of head, that many step I move, then come back. Then I measure the how many step I move. Then okay, then another time I measure, another time I measure. What is the average? Means what is the expectation? What is the mean value? Now what is the current, what how much I can now make a guarantee that if someone throw two coins, then what distance I'll move on an average? That is the question. Two coin. Okay, if I throw n coin, then what is the average? Let's take with the two coin. What would be the average that someone would move? Okay, that is the question. What is the average that someone would move? Okay, let's try. If it is two coin, no, if it is coming head, then he would move. If it is coming tail, then he will not move at all. Okay, now what is the, this will come under a situation like the way we had called, if someone remember, we have talked about what is the average marks, what is average mark of a student in a class. If there is a class and in that class there are number of students and they have secured marks between 1 to 10 in examination, 1 to 10. What is the average mark of this student? Then I ask each student their mark, then sum it and divide by number of students. Or, or I take one mark, mark 1, and then I ask all the students stand who have one mark. Okay, consider there are n number of students appear in the examination. One marks, how many students got? Okay, then five students is standing up. Then I say one mark into 5 by n. The probability of a student among the all the students, the probability that probability, okay, or someone can fraction. Probability is fraction only. Fraction of a student, they are getting one mark. If five students are standing 5 by n, I draw a graph now. This is the marks graph. This is 0. So at one mark, okay, no, probably someone can get 1.11. Consider that people are getting marks in 1, 2, 3, 4, in integer only, not in fraction. Then in one mark, I draw a line that is 5 by n. At two marks, I draw a line that is 10 by n. Number of n is number of students. Like that I draw. What is the average mark? If this axis is for marks, then this is 1 into 5 by n. Makes sense? Plus 2 into 10 by 10, 10 by n, plus 3 into 16 by n, whatever 3 is. If I add all this, I get the average mark. This is far simple. Then I go with everyone and ask for the marks and then add it. Just okay, in similar fashion, I'm trying to calculate the average head. If I know the average head, then average head is the number of step I made. If average head is 2.3, then 2.3 step I made. That is fraction of one step. Okay, average head. What is the head now? If now I take a scale of head. Now when head is 0, probably head will be 0. There is no head. What is probability that? Probability of not getting head means both will be tail. Then it is 1 by 4. Out of fourth combination of head, it is 1 by 4. So height will be 1 by 4. 0 into 1 by 4, 0, nothing. So I am interested in head. Okay, what about that? It will be one head. If it is one head, then probability is 1 by 2. One head, 1 into 1 by 2. It is 1 by 2 plus two heads. Now here head count is 2 and probability is 1 by 4. 1 by 4 into 1 by 2. I'm sorry, 1 by 4 into 2. That will come as 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is the net average step I made. That is the 1. So average head, I'm sorry, what is the average head? Average head is 1 and not probability is 1. This is the probability. This is number of head. This is the probability of students. This is marks. I'm calculating average marks, not the average student. This is the probability of getting head, but this is head, number of head. I'm trying to calculate the number of average head. So with one throw, number of average head is 1. Now I can guarantee. No. I threw it there. There are two heads. Trust me. I threw there are one head. I threw there was no head. Whatever it. On average, person can understand it will be one head only. Okay. Then with one head he make one step forward. Then he will make one step. Okay. Consider there are n number of coins. Then someone will write this. This is very complex. How someone would write is now summation, summation, summation. Okay, summation I equal to 1 to n. I have to sum now. Anyway, I summed it. So when number of head I, this is I, or I can say H. H is number of head. Head, summation head equal to 0 to n. Head will come 0 time to n time. Okay, and then H, that is the number of head. H, number of head, into probability of that head. Probability of getting H head. H is the number, and H head getting probability. This is false in binomial distribution. That is n. We have talked why it is like that. We don't talk in air. So it will be NCH. NCH probability. If probability of getting head is P, then P to the power H into 1 minus P, that is the probability of getting tail, 1 minus P to the power N minus H. If I say it is X is then it is summation of X equal to 0 to N, X, NCX P to the power X, 1 minus P to the power N minus X. If I sum it, if I sum it exactly, then I'll get the average number of head with the n, with the n toss. Okay, that much person will proceed. Okay, what is average number of tail? I don't bother, because if I calculate for a tail, then person is not moving at all. If it comes tail, then he is stand. No, 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 no. If it tail comes, then he will move backward -1. Then you have to calculate for the average number of tail also. Then you have to add average number of head multiplied by 1, because that much step he will move forward, plus average number of 10 multiplied by -1, that many step he will move backward. Add it, then you will say he will where he will be. Okay, now can we solve if I take in similar fashion in the disease case? First, in the disease case, that is a similar thing. Okay, how many people on average are diseased? Okay, what you know? I know that what is the fraction of people who are diseased in n number of people. If I know fraction of people, if n number of people are there, then how many people are diseased? If I divide number of disease by number of n, it becomes P. P or Q. I'm sorry, I started with the Q. 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 Now on an average, if I take country by country, on an average, how many people are diseased in a Q fashion, in a variation of Q? How many people are diseased? If I take n number of countries, okay, if I pick any country, on an average, how many people I feel disease? That is dependent upon Q factor. Okay, tell me in Q, that depend upon the Q factor. How many steps I will move forward? Okay, one step I move forward when it comes ahead. It depends upon the probability of a head in that coin. If that coin, if for one coin, if probability of getting head is 0.9 and getting tail is 0.1, then you will move more forward than backward. Similarly, what is the probability of Q? How many people are diseased? If more than half people are diseased, then you are landing up into different sections. If less than half people are diseased, you are landing up in different sections. Okay, this is called impersonation. I talked about impersonation in the last chapter. Impersonation means if I take any person, what is the guarantee that he is diseased? That is Q factor. If Q is, consider Q is 0.5, means zero point 0.5, half of the people are diseased. If I take any people and say, you are diseased, he will fight with me. Go and measure, I am not a diseased person. By mistake, you caught me. You are diseased. 0.5% chance is you diseased, and 0.5% chance is you are not diseased. I am not diseased at all. Take the blood report whatsoever, I am completely here and healthy. If I catch a person and I'm saying that you are not a diseased person, I am a diseased person. If you go and check, I am no, no. Zero point 0.5 is a chance is you are not a disease. Zero point 0.5 is a chance you are diseased. I am a fully diseased person. Okay, this is called how we measure it. If there are n number of people and Q is a fraction, that much are diseased, then in each person, I can say that chance of becoming diseased is q, and chance of not becoming diseased is 1 minus q. It is something like if I have a coin, then coming to head probability is p, and not coming head is 1 minus p. Similarly, I pick one person. If I pick one person and probability of getting disease is q, not getting disease is 1 minus q. What is the average count of the people I find who is diseased? Now this axis is people axis. This axis is people axis. And in this people axis, then how many people are in this people? This is count of the people against count of the people. And what is the chance of getting disease or not disease? This is called probability. Okay, I believe it is still difficult. Okay, we will solve the coin problem. Then we will come probably in next session. We will come into this solution. Okay, but here it will be similar. Okay, how many people will be diseased if I count? If I count, consider that if I say that there is no one disease, no one disease. Okay, number of people who are diseased. If I find to find the average, now I have to find a number of person and then its probability. The way we did. What is average number in class? Then number into what is the probability of that number. Number 2 marks. What is probability of that number? What is average head? Number of head and probability of that head. What is the number of people who are diseased? Get the number and check the probability of the disease. Get the number and probability of disease in with that number. Get the number of people and probability of a disease in that number. Okay, multiply and keep adding. You will get average number of diseased people. Makes sense? Okay. Anyway, so that will come in a like summation summation x equal to 0 to n, where x is number of people, x into ncx, that will fall in same distribution, because every person, every coin, here we have coin, different coin, we have different person. Coin can be head or tail, person can be disease or not disease. A coin has inherent property of head and tail. A person has inherent property of disease or not disease. No, 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 every person is different. Consider in this fashion. Okay, in that fashion, it will become NCX. NC, number of people, combination X, where now summation X equal to 0 into X, NCX, Q to the power X, 1 minus Q to the power N minus X. If someone solves it, then he will get an average number of diseased people. Okay, how this is difficult. If someone wants this, like the way I said, that how many steps I'll make forward, that depends upon how many head you are getting. If I have n number of coin, then it is n, it is summation x equal to 0 to n, summation x equal to 0 to n, x, n c x, x p to the power x, 1 minus p to the power n minus 1, x, p is probability of head, and 1 minus p is not probability of head, that is tail. Can I divide into, because we are talking about dividing it into n part. This is difficult to solve it. If I say I make a one step backward, if I get tail, then it becomes summation x equal to 0 to n x ncx p to the power x, 1 minus p to the power n minus x. This is the average number of head I am getting. Multiply by 1, because you have to move one step, plus summation x equal to, or summation y equal to 0 to n y. I am saying in x and y because it is easy. This is tail, number of tail. Now summation x equal to 0 to n y, n c y, q to the power n minus y, 1 minus q to the power y. Okay, how many tail we are bothered? So 1 minus q to the power y. Sum it. It will give the number of average tail multiplied by minus 1. Okay, multiply it by minus 1 and then settle it down. It will be cumbersome now. That's why we have taken topic that summation to integral. Can I divide into n small part, n different part, and then add it? That is more or less much more simpler. Okay, because if someone does that calculation nc1 and then for n, he will die on. That is I am sure about. Okay, now if I take coin by coin, coin by coin, because both all are independent to each other. If a particular coin has a head, then what is the probability that another coin will be head? They are not related to each other. Doesn't matter. First coin is head or tail. Doesn't matter. If all are unrelated, all n, if I divide into n part and all n part are unrelated to each other, if all n part are unrelated to each other, then part by part I can take and sum it. The way I was trying to calculate the circumference of a circle, then all parts are unrelated to each other. Similarly, here if I have n number of coins, all parts are unrelated to each other. What is the length? If I take the length of another section, knowing that this section length is this, doesn't matter. This length and this length are completely different things. So now I can divide into n part. What is the what is the average probability of average head? Average head I'll get if I toss one coin. Average head. Okay, if I try to get average head, if I toss one coin, average head, then it will be NC1. Okay, if I have one coin, I am trying to calculate the average head. There is a chance that head will not come. If that is the case, then it will come NC0, summation x equal to 0 to 1, because it is only 1 it will come. Head will be 0 or head will be 1 for one coin. Summation x equal to 0 to n 1 x nc x p to the power x 1 minus p to the power n minus x. Now we have only 2 to calculate. If it is 0, then full is 0. If it is 1, then 1 into 1c1, that is 1. 1 into 1, p to the power 1, that is p. 1 minus p to the power 0, that is 1. It will come as p only. Means average head I get if I toss one coin is p, that is the probability of the head. If I have n coin, then it will be n into p. Simple, right? Means how many steps I'll move forward, that is n into p. If there is a calculation for the tail also, means I move backward. If it is tail, then let's calculate for the tail. Summation x equal to 0 to n x ncx 1 minus p to the power, p to the power n minus x 1 minus p to the power x. Now consider it is 0 tail. Tail, it is 0, it is okay, it okay, I believe, okay, this is with the number of tail. Okay, if it is 0, then anyway x is 0, so 0. Then tail can be 1. If it is 1, then 1 into nc1, 1. P to the power n minus x, that is 0, then 1. 1 minus p, 1 minus p to the power 1. It will come as 1 minus p. If there are n coins, then it will be n into 1 minus p. First was n into p. If you add, it will come as n. With each step, it will come as n. I believe, hope. It will come as np, n into p, n into p. Okay, I believe I am all right. This is what I think so. Okay, and if I consider the tail, then it will come as, okay, it will come as, I'm sorry, I'll do it again. This is n into p. N into p is the average head with the n coin. So he will move n into p. N into 1 minus p is the average tail, where p is the probability of a head. Okay, he will move 1 backward. Okay, 1 backward means minus 1. So it will come as np plus minus 1 into n into 1 minus p. Okay, it will come in that fashion. Okay, now if p is 1 by 2, if half probability is there, then it will be, first will be n by 2 plus minus 1 into n minus 1, n into 1 by 2. It will come as n by 2 minus n by 2, 0. He will stand there only. If he keep tossing the coin or n number of coin, if he throws, then on an average he will stand there only. This is breaking the problem into n different parts. Okay, now in term of p, if somebody trying to understand, it will be n into p, n into p, n into p minus, if it is moving backward, minus n 1 minus p. How much it will be? Minus n and then np, 2np minus n. It will be n 2p minus 1. That many steps he will move. If p is 1 by 2, then it will be 0. If p is biased, toss is biased, more heads are coming, then he will move forward only. Same technology people can use to get the average diseased person. Now, person by person, if a person is a diseased person, what is the guarantee that another person will be diseased or healthy? Okay, no, there is no relationship. Any person can be. This is what we have taken the assumption. If that is the case, then similar fashion we can break it into n parts, and each part we will do like this only the way it did here. It will come as n into p. Each person, what is the probability that he is a disease? Now it is summation x equal to 0 to 1. That person cannot be diseased or person can be diseased. If I take a person, okay, I'm talking about disease, then he is not diseased, means x equal to 0. He is diseased, then x equal to 1. Okay, summation x equal to 0 to 1, x, 1 c x, q to q. Q is each person, the nature of becoming disease is q to the power x, 1 minus q to the power n minus x. If it is n 1 c 0, if x is 0, then full is gone. If x is 1, we are taking for the disease. If x is 1, then how much it will be? It will come as x n 1 c x 1 q to the power 1. Another is 0. It will come as q. Okay, so on average, one person to behave like a disease is q. This is what I was saying, that every person had disease in him. If out of n people, q is a fraction of people who have disease, then in every person to get the disease chance is q. This is proved here one. Now, if n people are there, n into q, n into q is a chance that I could have calculated that simple only. But this, the fundamental what we are giving, it will measure very, very complex things also. Consider that I consider that out of n people, q is a fraction of the people who have disease. Okay. Now the question is arising. Okay, they have the disease. If I pick a person from n people, if I pick a person, and if he is found disease, then I have a kind of I have a set of number from 0 to 1. I have set of ball that is number 0 to 1. All fractions are there. All possible fractions are there. 0 to 1. 1 is ball is written 0. 1 where ball is written 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0 0.3. All infinite number of balls are there. 0 to 1 in number. If I check one person and he comes as a diseased person, then I pick one ball from the bag and see the number. Makes sense? If I pick a person and he is not a diseased person, I go to another sack and there are balls numbered between 3 and 4. All possible numbers. 3 and 4. I pick one ball from that bag. Okay, tell me, okay, on an average, tell me what is the number. If I add those, if I pick one ball, take, if I find a person who is diseased person, I pick a ball from a sack. Ball is numbered from 0 to 1. Okay, then I pick one number. Okay, and note it down. I replace the ball. Okay, then I pick another person, and if he is not a diseased person, I pick a ball from 3 to 4 number. I take a number and then I note it down. Make sense? Now I do it for n number of people. Now tell me what is the summation? Whatever is the summation, what is the average summation divided by n? What is the average summation? So based upon p, q and 1 minus q, I can go for different kind of problem, and those will be non-linear problem. Then solve it. Okay, then someone will say you have to come to calculus. That we will see. First, understand how to solve a problem by dividing into n parts, and then come to a formula, or then change the formula to integral calculus. We will see more on it. These are, Explain, as I always say, these explanations are not available in any of the book. Anyone can try. Please do not mind supporting us. +91 is the India country code 9483160610 is the telephone number. +91 is the India country code 9483160610 is the telephone number.